If you feel like you've been in a constant battle with food, that you can't stop binging on a particular food, or that you go into diet after diet only to feel less confident, less in tune with your body, and less proud of your body, then you need a different approach to your relationship with food. Today, I want to help you break up with negative food labels and have a more peaceful, positive relationship with all types of foods. It can be really easy to get stuck in this rut of labeling foods and therefore labeling yourself as good or bad based upon what foods you consumed or what foods you ate that week or that day. And it's something that can really mess with our mental health and really impact our mental health in a tremendous way. So I want to help you have some tangible tips that you can incorporate into your day. And hopefully this will help you feel like you're less at war with food, which I know I've been there, and I know from experience that it can be a very, very dark place. So let's get into some quick tips on how to drop those negative labels around certain foods. The first thing that I want you to do is have some gentle, mindful awareness about where these labels pop up. So for some of you, they may be around specific foods. For others, they may be more around specific events or happen in certain circumstances, like eating out with your friends, eating out at a social gathering or a birthday party or something like that. So it may be based on circumstances, certain people that you're around, or certain particular foods that you're around that you notice these negative labels pop up. And when I say negative labels, I mean like labeling a food as good or bad, having any judgmental attitude towards yourself for eating that particular food, anything like that where you sense this like tightness in your chest, this lump in your throat, this guilt feeling around food. That's the type of label that I'm talking about. So what I want you to do from there, once you have that mindful awareness, is to track it in your notes app on your phone for 1 week. Having your notes app will just help you kind of sustain that, because I know we all have our phones with us all the time, but you can also use a little notepad and piece of paper. If you're a pen and paper kind of gal or guy, that's perfectly fine too. Just find something that's easy to sustain for a whole week so you can really get a good picture of what that looks like for you. The second tip I have for you is look out for subliminal messages in different things like advertisements or the foods that you buy or the people that you look up to on social media. Look up for subliminal messages that could be impacting your relationship with food. Some examples that I can think of off the top of my head are skinny cow ice cream. This may seem pretty innocent. Oh, it's just the name of a brand. It's just the name of an ice cream. No big deal. But skinny cow kind of insinuates that ice cream is a bad thing, but since you're having this diet ice cream, you're not a cow anymore, you're a skinny cow. It used to not bother me so much, but now I go out of my way not to purchase items that have the word skinny in them. It's just not cool, and it's something that I will not support with my money, and I hope that eventually goes away. But I've seen it in other things like skinny girl and skinny this, skinny that. Sometimes it's less obvious than just using the word skinny outright, like guilt-free, lose the belly pooch in 1 week, or lose those love handles. The attitude is focusing on the reducing and making yourself small and making yourself feel guilty for having any particular thing, like having a belly pooch or having hips or big thighs or anything like that. None of those things are inherently a bad thing. And when companies and celebrities try to insinuate that they are a bad thing, I just try to stay as far away as possible, because I know that that's impacting my mental health and my relationship with my own body. And I was someone who used to read magazines left and right. Every single day I was subscribed to all the magazines that related to women's health, and I did not realize how toxic those magazines were on my mental health. It was crazy how much diet culture was really ingrained in those magazines, and it hugely impacted how I felt about my body, and I was never satisfied with the way my body looked because it didn't look like the photoshopped models that they had. It just left a really high standard for beauty, and I think like models are the weight equivalent of about like 1.5% of the average woman in America. Comparing ourselves to models in a magazine is just not a healthy thing. But my point here is that it may seem like innocent things like reading a magazine here and there, or buying something that says guilt-free this, or doing a workout that says lose the belly pooch in 10 minutes. But those things have a lasting impact. So be mindful of what you're supporting and what you are putting your mental energy towards, because it's not just about not supporting those types of businesses, it's also about supporting what's best for you, because you are the most important thing in your life and you need to take care of you. The last tip, to kind of circle back to my first tip, is to reframe some of those negative thoughts that you're having around food and with specific circumstances around food. So after you track where these things are coming up and where they pop up in your life, also make sure that you're tracking what you're saying to yourself when you have these situations where you're feeling guilt. And if you're not saying anything guilt invoking, then pay attention to how your body feels in response to a particular stimulus like food. Write down whatever details you can come up with, and again, try not to judge those observations. Just to the best of your ability, try to maintain objectiveness with it and leave emotions at the side and just observe when these things come up and what exactly is coming up. Is it guilt? Is it mistrust? Is it hiding food? Is it only eating particular foods when your friends aren't around, or when you're not around your family or a particular family member? Pay attention to everything, and then if it's particular words that you're saying to yourself that are negative, try to reframe them to more neutral or positive language. So instead of "I don't need that cake," you could say something like, "It's obvious that I'm hungry and this cake seems like it would really satisfy my appetite right now. I'm gonna enjoy it mindfully and I'm gonna sit down with it and embrace this food and move on." Kind of have that like chill attitude about it. I think the more we put up food on a pedestal, and the more we dream about a food and limit ourselves to not having that food or only having it like once a year, we set ourselves up for the Last Supper syndrome, which is where you feel like this is the last time you're ever gonna have that food. And so it sets you up to restrict binge, and the cycle just continuously goes. I recommend when you have those negative thoughts around food, like you can't have it, remind yourself why food is so important to your energy and to your mental well-being and to your muscle growth, and how food impacts your body, instead of focusing on why you shouldn't or can't have a certain food. All foods should be able to fit into your diet, and if you feel like you can't, or you don't trust your body in that kind of way yet, and you feel like you won't be able to stop yourself if you start or anything like that, then hire a dietitian who can work one-on-one with you, that can help you walk through some of these challenges. I take one-on-one clients personally, and I know a lot of other dietitians that are wonderful, that are very educated on topics like mindful and intuitive eating. So that is something that you're going to want to look for in a dietitian if you are looking for having a healthy relationship with food. But hopefully some of these tips in today's video helped and can get you started. If you have any further questions on mindful intuitive eating, or how to build a healthier relationship with food, how to ditch negative labels around food, then let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to do more follow-up videos on this one. I'm excited to hear your feedback, and I will leave more videos like this one in the end card and description box below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.